Hey guys, Eddie here with Hipastore.com, and today I want to talk about a sort of a controversial topic, and that is removing the guard off your trimmer. So I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know that this was really a common practice. I'm not in the landscaping trade or high volume property management or mowing business. So as a casual user of trimmers, it never really occurred to me to take the guard off. And you know, I'm terrible with a trimmer, and I'm constantly hitting obstacles like chain link fence, for instance. And you know, I'll often one side will get cut off shorter than the other. So I kind of like the function of the guard and the cutter on the guard specifically to help keep the string at a constant length. But as part of my job here with Hipa, I watch a lot of videos from other people and have noticed that especially professionals, they often will have their guard off their trimmers. And I've also noticed a few videos discussing this, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea to take the guard off your strimmer, trimmer, weed whacker, whatever you want to call it. So I thought I would spend just a few minutes here discussing what I think are the pros and cons of removing or not removing your guard. But more importantly, I want to hear from you. I want to know if you do or do not remove your trimmer guard and why. I'd love to see a discussion in the comments because there are some pretty big pros to removing it, but there's also some pretty big cons. So first, let's talk about a few reasons why you might want to take your guard off. One real obvious one is line of sight. You do have a better line of sight with what your trimmer is doing without the guard in the way. This is especially true if you're edging and you've got the trimmer on its edge, but I also think a lot of people would agree it's just generally easier to see the outline of your trimmer line and where it's cutting. Now the con to this is also obvious. If you can see the trimmer line, something can fly off that line and hit you in the face of the eye. The less protection you have covering the line, the easier it is for the trimmer to throw debris in any direction. So safety here is an issue. But I would say that if you use a trimmer every day in your profession and get proficient at using it, and of course wear the necessary protective equipment, I don't think this would necessarily be a big issue. It's really just up to the user. Another reason to take the guard off is to get a wider cut. If you normally run at about a 10-inch radius with the guard on, you could run 12, 14 inches, even more. This might sound like a great idea, but there is one problem with it. Machines are engineered to do certain things. And as much as we joke about engineers and how they make everything more difficult, there is a lot of thought that goes into these machines. And there's a lot of design considerations, as well as building to a certain price, as well as needing certain technical specifications. And a big one of those technical specifications is the efficiency between the engine and the line. So in general, if your machine came with a guard that prevents the line being longer than 10 inches, you're likely going to have an engine on there that runs best, is most efficient, and runs at a certain load that minimizes wear. And I have read about a test that Stihl has done on this, and increasing the line by a few inches can actually exponentially increase the load on the engine, which would also exponentially decrease the life of the engine. Plus, if your trimmer just doesn't have enough power to make the cuts at that width, all it's going to do is wind up around the head anyway. But again, I can also see if you're part of a professional outfit or you have your own business, the productivity factors may outweigh the life cycle argument. I mean, essentially, if you can get more done, make more money in less time, then maybe the fact that your machine only lasts 3/4 of how long it normally would doesn't matter. So now I'm sure there's other ideas about why or why not to remove your trimmer guard. Maybe it's such things as getting into tighter places. But here at Hipa, we really want to hear from you. Down in the comments, please let us know whether you remove it, don't remove it. Maybe you only remove it for certain jobs. We'd love to see a lively, respectful conversation down in the comments. And if you enjoy this type of video, please consider subscribing to us here at YouTube, as well as visit our Facebook page, where we also have a group called the Hipa DIY Community. You can get help there with our products, talk to other users, as well as win prizes. And also check us out at Hipastore.com, where we carry a full line of parts and accessories, including line, carburetors, tune-up kits, etc. So once again, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.